Well, good morning, and welcome to the Daniel Saul Show, where you will witness sports talk and debate from yours truly, Daniel Sauls. Well, I have nothing else left to say. Let's get started! Well, good morning. And this morning, we're going to be talking about a few things here on this lovely Friday. Talking about Aaron Rodgers and best teams in the NFL right now. Let's get to the questions here today, folks. Is Aaron Rodgers a top 10 quarterback of all time? Good Lord, we're going to talk about this again. Aaron Rodgers. Just for people who do not know, this season, in week 1, 4 snaps into the game, Aaron Rodgers did tear his Achilles. He is now with the Jets. And when he was obviously playing, he did get injured, like I just said. So we hope for a speedy recovery. We never wish injury upon anybody. It's not what we do here on the Daniel Saul Show. But I will tell you this, I'm not a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. But that doesn't mean that I can't have facts behind it. But before I get into why he is or is not a top 10 quarterback for my answer, I'm going to tell you what Aaron Rodgers is. Aaron Rodgers is the following. He is a Super Bowl champion. He is an all-pro quarterback. He is a superstar in this league, and he has been a superstar in this league since 2005. And when you look at it all in the bigger picture, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He has always been a top 5 quarterback in the league since he's entered the league. He is a superstar. That does not mean he is a top 10 quarterback. And to answer the question, is Aaron Rodgers a top 10 quarterback? That answer is absolutely not. He's not a top 10 quarterback, okay? Rodgers is the most overrated superstar in NFL history. Let's get that out the way. I'm going to tell you why he's the most overrated superstar in NFL history. I'm going to tell you why he's not a top 10 quarterback in this league. But first, I'm going to give you my top 10 so you can get an idea of what I'm looking at. I'm going to go from 1 to 10. I know a lot of people like going 10 to 1, but I'm going to go 1 to 10. Brady's obviously 1. Montana's obviously 2. Peyton Manning is obviously 3. Those 3 are untouchable for the top 3 spots in order. Most people have it either Montana, then Brady, or Brady, Montana. I think a lot of people now, after Brady and what he has done, I think they're going to put Brady ahead of Montana. So Brady, Montana, Manning, Peyton Manning, obviously. Those are the top 3 quarterbacks, no debate about that. Then number 4, I have Drew Brees. I'm going to get to why Drew Brees is better than Aaron Rodgers later in this video because that's the best comparison to Aaron Rodgers in this entire thing. Then Dan Marino. Yeah, he never won a Super Bowl, but Dan Marino is way more skilled than Aaron Rodgers. He's a better overall quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. He's got the best ball out of anybody in the league ever in life. Out of all these guys, he throws the best ball without question, and he was never in a good situation, never on that good team with the Dolphins. He never had a good career when it comes to people around him. But Dan Marino, skill-wise and what he did, he deserves to be on this list. Then Patrick Mahomes. Just off of body of work, Patrick Mahomes is better than Aaron Rodgers, and he's only played for 6 years. In the 5 years that he's played before this season, he's gotten to the AFC Championship game every single year. That's when he just started. I talk about Mahomes a lot on this show. You should already know Mahomes has done. Mahomes has proven himself to be in this list. He's already got more Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers. He's played for this is his 6th year. I mean, are you kidding? This is his 6th year. He's already got more Super Bowls than Aaron Rodgers, and he's already more talented than Aaron Rodgers. He can do more than Aaron Rodgers can. He brings more to the table than Aaron Rodgers can. He's obviously better than Aaron Rodgers, without a doubt. I don't want to hear anything from anybody about Patrick Mahomes being in this list because he deserves to be on this list. Then we're going to go to number 7, and that's John Elway. John Elway was more clutch than Aaron Rodgers was. John Elway is a hybrid quarterback. He could run, he could throw, he could do everything. He's a Super Bowl champion, and can't take that away from him. Brett Favre is without a doubt a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's only got 1 Super Bowl, but he is more risky. He's got more guts than Aaron Rodgers ever has. He is without a doubt one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he is without a doubt a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers ever was and ever will be. Brett Favre was just that man. He is the true Packer. If I had to take Packer for Packer, I'm taking Brett Favre over Aaron Rodgers every day. Brett Favre is a legend. He is a superstar, and I would 100% put him over this list when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, without a doubt. And then we're going to go to number 9. That's Steve Young. Steve Young, yeah, Joe Montana was the best quarterback when it comes to San Francisco, but he's number 2. Steve Young was one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. You got to give it to the man. He's a Super Bowl champion. He did what he did. Look, it was fun to watch Steve Young. It was fun to watch Steve Young. Some people would rather watch Steve Young over a lot of people on this list, but I really think Steve Young's a top 10 quarterback. A lot of people don't give him that credit, but I know he is. And number 10 is going to be a shocker, but I'm going to tell you why. He's better than Aaron Rodgers is, and that's Ben Roethlisberger. Okay? No, I used to have Randall Cunningham in this list, but then when I thought about it, and I took time to think, Randall Cunningham, to me, is the most talented quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes, because he is what created, he's who created that hybrid type thing. Like, he could run, he could throw, he could do everything. That's what Randall Cunningham basically revolutionized. He was that guy, okay? And not a lot of people give him credit, because to me, if it wasn't for Mahomes, he would be, in my eyes, the greatest African-American quarterback to have ever lived. This man was amazing to watch. I know one of my friends showed me highlights of Randall Cunningham, and he normally shows me highlights of people, and I don't really think they're cool. But when I looked at Randall Cunningham, I was like, God, this dude's a superstar. And when I continued to watch, I realized what I was watching, and it was crazy what I was watching. So I, majority of the time, gave him credit and put him in the top 10, which he, to most people, does not deserve to be in that list because he's not a Super Bowl champion. But I just feel like I can't put him in that list now that I'm looking at it, just because Ben Roethlisberger has done more than Randall Cunningham, and he's two-time Super Bowl champion. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he was in the league. He was definitely a top 5 quarterback in the league consistently. Him and his coach, they never had a losing season. So I feel like that right there just gives him a lot of credibility. He was a Pro Bowler. You know, he was an All-Pro quarterback. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he has done more than Aaron Rodgers has, for sure. So I got to give Ben Roethlisberger credit. I put Aaron Rodgers at 12. Okay? The reason why Aaron Rodgers is not in my top 10 is because he consistently chokes in the playoffs. Consistently. The biggest choke job of his entire career was in 2021 when they interviewed him, and he came out and said that he had never had an NFC Championship game at home, and that would be the difference maker. That's what would make him win. And did that even come close to what happened? No. What happened? He lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They went to Lambeau Field. And look, the Buccaneers weren't used to the cold weather. Tom Brady was, but none of the other people. They played, in Tampa. They're used to hot, muggy weather in Florida. And then they go to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. It's freezing cold. And they still did better than the home team, which was Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers got blown off the field with a terrible, terrible game. They played awful. I don't want to hear anything. No excuses. Tom Brady was the winner of that game. Him and the team, him and the Bucs, 100% won that game. And look, I don't want to hear anything about Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, okay? I don't want to hear any of it. He's gone to 5 NFC Championship games, and he's won once. You know what's a good comparison? Patrick Mahomes is in his 6th season. He's been in the AFC Championship game 5 years. He's won 3 times. 3. There's no excuses to it. None. Since 2017, Aaron Rodgers has won 2 playoff games. That is horrific. If you're a top 5 quarterback, you should have won more than 2 games in the playoffs since 2017. And if you do not know how to do math, I will help you with that. 2017 was 5 years ago. If not 5, no, that was 6 years ago. That was 6 years ago. Are you kidding me? We're in 2023. That was 2017. That's 6 years ago. He hasn't won more than 2 playoff games. And in the 5 NFC Championship games he did go to, he lost to 4 of those teams. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 teams. He lost to the Seattle Seahawks in 2015, which I don't really hold him against that, to be honest with you, just because the powerhouse team that was the Seahawks in those few years, that was unstoppable. I can't give Aaron Rodgers any hate for that. Then in 2017, it's the Atlanta Falcons. I know that was their good year, but Atlanta Falcons? Are you kidding me? They lost to the Falcons, and the Falcons went on to blow one of the biggest leads in Super Bowl history, and then they lost. Same thing that happened in the 49ers in 2020. They played against the 49ers. They got beat in the NFC Championship game. The 49ers had a big lead, and they ended up losing that big lead deficit, and then it was the Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs that came back and won the game, and the 49ers lost the Super Bowl that year. Then they lost to the Bucs, which ended up winning in 2021, like I said a few minutes ago. That's one point. Another thing is, like I said before, the most brought up point here in this debate, okay, is that Aaron Rodgers never had a good defense. The biggest thing brought up in this entire debate is that Aaron Rodgers never had a good defense. That's the biggest lie in NFL history, and I'm going to tell you why. In 2017, from many sources show that the Packers had the third-ranked defense in the entire league. So, if obviously Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, okay? He had Jordy Nelson. He had Devontae Adams. He had Randall Cobb. He had all these dudes he could throw to. I don't want to hear anything about the offense. The offense was always going to be good if they had Aaron Rodgers. I'll give him that credit. But then they say the defense. Well, they had the third-ranked defense that year, okay? And in 2020, when they lost to the 49ers, they had the 13th best defense. That's not too bad. That's above average. So you can't say it's a bad defense at all. That's not. Because the Kansas City Chiefs had an 11th-ranked defense, and they still went to the Super Bowl every single year. So I don't want to hear anything about 13, because 11 is not too much better than 13, ladies and gentlemen. It is not, okay? And then the Packers, okay, their offense that year in 2020 was 5th. So they had a good offense and they had a decent defense, and they still couldn't win against the Bucs. When the Packers went to the Super Bowl in 2011, their offense and defense was both ranked 3rd. So I don't want to hear anything about their defense being terrible, because that is a lie. That is a complete lie. I'm bringing up big years in which the Packers had success, and you're telling me they had bad defenses? No, they did not. They did not. At all. And then most people are going to say, well, Drew Brees is on this list. He's higher than Aaron Rodgers. They both have one Super Bowl. You're a liar if you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers is better than Drew Brees. I'm going to tell you why he's not better than Drew Brees. Because when the Packers went to the Super Bowl in 2011, like I had just said, they had the 3rd-ranked offense and defense in the league. When the Saints went to the Super Bowl in 2010, they were not the 3rd best offense and defense. They were the 7th best defense and the 6th best offense. Yes, that is pretty good, but that's not 3rd. That's not 3rd. You got tons of teams in front of you that could beat you really easily if that's what you're looking at. So the Saints had the 7th and the 6th best offense and defense in this league when they won the Super Bowl. So he was dealing with worse teams, Drew Brees. He was dealing with worse teams, and he went to the Super Bowl and won. So for Drew Brees to win the Super Bowl, he just has to have a pretty good team to be able to go. But when Aaron Rodgers, he has to have one of the top 3 best offenses and defenses in the league to be able to win something. That tells you a lot about this guy. Okay? And that year when the Saints won the Super Bowl, their offense was ranked 9th and their defense was ranked 2nd. I never want to hear anything about the Packers not having good defenses. That is a lie. That is a complete lie, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone who is watching, you are lying to yourself if you're saying that the Packers didn't have good defenses with Aaron Rodgers. That is a lie. It's a big lie. Rodgers consistently had better teams than Drew Brees, and he still has won Super Bowl. He still has won. And I don't want to hear about Drew Brees only having one, because he got cheated out twice. He got cheated out twice. The biggest one was when they lost to the Rams. That was a complete joke. That was a joke. They should have won that game. If I'm remembering right, that's 2018. They should have won that game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was either 2018 or 2019 when they lost that. That was horrific. The only thing that Aaron Rodgers has over Drew Brees when it comes to player compared to player is MVPs. That's it. That's the only thing that Rodgers has over Drew Brees. Because Drew Brees has a higher completion percentage than Aaron Rodgers, 67.7 to 65.3. So he's better at completing the ball. He is the most accurate quarterback in the league. Drew Brees, he's always been the most accurate. He is the most accurate of all time. We know this already. On the all-time passing yards leaderboard, Drew Brees is ranked 2nd. Aaron Rodgers is ranked 9th, and it's not even close. 80,000 yards compared to 59,000 yards. That is not close. Okay? I'm just letting you know that now. And do you know who's above Aaron Rodgers in that list? Brady, Brees, Manning, Favre, Big Ben. Favre, yeah, Favre is better. Huh? Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, and Dan Marino. All those players are higher than Aaron Rodgers, but yet Aaron Rodgers is so great. He's so talented, right? He's better than all these guys. The only guy I can really say that he's better than is Rivers and Matt Ryan. Those are the only two guys I could seriously say that Aaron Rodgers is better than on this list. And then when you go to the all-time touchdowns thrown leaderboards, Brees is 2nd, Rodgers is 5th, Favre is 4th. Okay, Rodgers is pretty high on this list. But you know who's above him? Favre and Brees. Okay, I'm done with talking about Brees after this one more thing. Brees has gone to more Pro Bowls than Aaron Rodgers has, 13 to 10. I'm going to tell you why. I just told you why Brees is better than Rodgers. Here's why Favre is better than Rodgers. Because I had a coach in high school that kept telling me and ridiculing me, telling me how Brett Favre is not even close to Aaron Rodgers, okay? I'm going to tell you one thing. I just said he's better than him when it comes to passing yards. So he's thrown the ball for more yards than Aaron Rodgers. And he's thrown more touchdowns than Aaron Rodgers. And you're telling me that he's better than Brett Favre? You're smoking crack cocaine if you think that Brett Favre is not better than Aaron Rodgers. And he's got more of a clutch gene, and he's more risky and has more guts than Aaron Rodgers ever has. And they have the same amount of Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers is definitely not better than Brett Favre. I don't want to hear any of that. Brett Favre does not deserve to be in the top 10. Yeah, okay. You're smoking. I can't believe anybody would say something like that. Aaron Rodgers does not belong on the top 10. He just doesn't. He doesn't belong in the top 10. I'll give him top 12, which is pretty close. And there's nothing he can do to be in the top 10 because he's not better than any of these guys. None of the guys I named. This is blasphemy. This is straight up. This is terrible. This is terrible. You cannot say that Aaron Rodgers is in the top 10. Unbelievable. I'm Daniel Sauls, the host of the Daniel Sauls Show, and I'll be back with another video for y'all guys once again very soon. Make sure to go like, subscribe, turn post notifications on as always. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Tell me if you think Aaron Rodgers is a top 10 quarterback of all time. And I'll be in the comments waiting for people to talk. I'd love to hear something. I'll respond to it, so let me know. Peace out, homies.